And then it said, abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself. Now see, do you hear what it's saying? It's saying that you can't just have one male opposition to every damn thing else, and him being with no color, but being the indicative, if you will, the glue of everything that is and sustains. And then when you see the selfishness that go along with that, and their bullshit propaganda saying that, well, the black people was punished by God and they don't really deserve anything because God hated the day that he let them come on earth. All that evil is all evil. And it's the reason why you saw 10 people get shot in that supermarket the other day. And it's the reason why I'm sitting here looking at YouTube this morning and some 75-year-old white woman gets slain by the police in the comfort of her living room, in her own house. This motherfucker comes into her house and she's a dementia patient, 75, senior citizen woman, and he lets 2 bullets go in her own house in front of her family. And see, he should have been immediately put in handcuffs and his ass taken to jail. But because they implement that, and that's what they want on all our plates, so we can all feel miserable and useless, and like we need somebody like a God to help us, other than having the courage to go do it yourself. See, when you don't have the courage to kill them back that kill you, it make you become their property, their victims. That's what we all are on this planet, victims of their corruption. Okay? Now let's go on with this. It said, abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself. The branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. You understand? The branch needs to be in the vine. No more can ye except ye abide in me. So the true arrangement of the universe is saying, this God right here is saying, and without separation or exclusion, that no one can do anything unless they abide in me. You don't hear anything about these people is not entitled, these people are excluded, and none of that. So all of that stuff that came into play later was the plagiarizations of the true writing and the implement of political desires of what they want. Okay, that's what that boiled down to. Okay. Now it says, I am the vine, and ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered. And men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. Ooh. Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that? I told you that, didn't I? See, listen to what it says. It says, okay, if a man abide not in me, now listen to what it's saying, because these are some deep words, and you got to understand what he is saying. He said, if a man goes wayward away from my teachings, is what he's saying. I mean, you'll be somebody who don't have a problem walking around here thinking because everybody else is murdering and getting away with it, then I should be able to do it too. You know, they let that Kyle Rittenhouse murder someone and nothing happened to him, so now you got all these copycats that feel like we can just run around and kill people too, including the police who went into that lady's house. See? Killed that 75 years of age white woman. I told y'all. They killed all you white people too. I told you that, didn't I? I told you. Not only did they murder all the black people, they murdered all you white people too. I told you that. Didn't I? Okay, so here it goes. It said, if a man abideth not in me, meaning all these policemen that's running around with these badges on, murdering people and thinking that that is something good because they're doing it in the name of that white supremacy that's disguised as that Christianity. That ain't abiding in the universal God system. That's being worshiper of the devil. Anytime you think you can just kill innocent people because you have a society that lets you get away with it, that doesn't make it be right. And you are going to pay for that. That's why you see these fires and these tornadoes and everything that's going on right now to this day that everybody want to overlook and say it's climate change. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, but then how do you explain me and these starships and these lights flying around in my room and everything that you notice they just pushed out of place so much as to where they're still here and everything. I just don't waste my time putting it up anymore because I'm not going to work myself to death when I know that they are very short-lived. And I know for a fact what I have turned on already, I have said it and forget it, and what's going to happen is going to happen. So I'm not going to stress myself out at all. That's their problem now. Okay? I gave them ample opportunity to get their ass lined up with all these teachings around me, but they wanted to be this. This is who they wanted to be. If a man abide not in me, that's who they wanted to be. Created their own God, which is the devil, because their actions speaks louder than their words. They talk all that brotherly love shit and all that care for humanity, and we're gonna have a world that's based on brotherly love, and it is not nothing about that. It's all these missiles, all these guns, all this robbing and killing, all these prisons built every damn where. So we already know. Okay, we know what we got. Ain't nobody gonna put no damn stale ass biscuit that's 8 days old in your hand and tell you that this is a piece of chocolate cake that I made this morning. Okay, so just stop. All right, we all know what we know. And we're not going to let somebody come in and tell us something else that we accept when we know that's all bullshit. Okay? So if a man abide not in me, meaning if these policemen run their ass around here with these badges on and they belong to a club that permits them to go out and have qualified immunity and you can just shoot niggas in the back of the head, you can go in the houses of people and shoot senior citizens, okay? That's what they're talking about right there. In a society that permits it. If a society, is what it's saying, if a society abide not in me, all this coochie popping, and all of every damn thing that begat Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah, and as we're doing all this wicked shit, you can see the wrath of God all around us, constantly whooping our ass all day. But them evil misguiders are covering God's presence up because they want you all to go to hell with them. Keep trying to tell y'all that. That's how they got you, by giving you all this separation and this completeness and the lure for all these fads they keep coming out with all the time. Now here we go. It said, if a society abideth not in me, if a man abide not in me, the society is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and man gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burnt. And that's just what's happening. That's just what's happening. And when they say right here, men gather them and they are cast into the fire, it ain't got nothing to do with no man gathering no people and throwing them into the fire. Because for you to do that means that you are a filthy ass dog to do something like that. There is no man ever going to be on this earth that has a right universally to go gather people and throw them into a fire. But now if you have the earth herself burning people up, then who gonna say something about that? Who can you say? What you gonna do to the earth with your bad ass and your brainwashed bullshit Bible? What are you gonna say to the earth when the earth really shows you who's really running things? You ain't gonna say shit. All you're gonna do is sit around and at night when you sleep, you're gonna wonder, is this the night that I'm going to hell? See, that's what's on all y'all plate right now, and I know that. So when you walk around with your bullshit, you worried about going to prison, you worried about going to hell, you worried about everything crumbling because you didn't win that damn election after all the nasty shit you did. Okay? After everything you all did, it was complete failures. Now everybody looking at you like, y'all done really got us all in some shit. And even though all that shit that they sustained over there across the pond, it's all being destroyed, they still want to have their allegiance to that crumbling ass shit over there, because that's all it is. Wicked, honorary people. And governments. I really don't have anything to say other than the fact that you reap what you sow. And when we all sit around here and let this government center make the decisions for us and get us all into the system of jeopardy with the universe that we allowed them to get us all in, then it is what it is. And you got to take your responsibility in all this, because for 10 years I ran around here screaming and hollering and begging everybody, you better listen, pay attention, look what they're doing. And because my skin was black, you all looked at me as if I was a goddamn joke and didn't want to take me seriously. And that's how this earth got destroyed, because of your discarding of all of the people with melanin and not taking them seriously. And we're the people on this earth that gets the information from the sunlight to make sure that we stay in divine principles of understanding how we're supposed to behave on this planet. And since you guys shut us down and stop listening to our recommendations about how we should behave on this planet has been summoned to be destroyed by Amun-Ra and Heteru. And then because that doesn't fit in with your whitewash bullshit, you all think you got a privilege to just overlook the immediate signs that's in everyone's face. And that's the reason why everyone on the earth is filled with so much anxiety, is because of the ignorance that's everywhere on everyone's plate. So now it says, if a man abideth not in me, once a society goes astray, that society will be cast forth as a branch, and it is withered, meaning that it dies up, garbage heaps every damn where. Women prostituting, okay? All this nasty shit with this damn fentanyl addiction everywhere. Everybody laying on the ground in some damn stanky ass tents everywhere. All the damn buildings everywhere that's stopping all the plants and the trees from growing. All got boards up to them. They came in and built that shit and made a killing, and then moved out and just left it there, impeding nature, stopping nature from growing. This is what this is talking about. It is withered. Okay? And so after all this done happened and they done screwed up nature, it says men gathered them and cast them into the fire. But that ain't what's happening. We can see that the volcanoes is burning them up. We can see what they call wildfires is burning them up, but the houses is burnt up and the trees next to the house is still there. So they're lying. They're lying. And if ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will,